Okay, team, John Miles here, back coming to learn about what makes great marketing awards entries. So here we are at TRA, and the little birdie told me that New Zealand Marketer of the Year 2022, Sarah Sandoval of New Zealand Post, is here in the meeting with Karen Glusina, Managing Partner of TRA. So let's go and gate crash their meeting. Okay guys, we're outside the boardroom and let's see if Sarah and Karen are in here. Let's go. Morning team, how are we? How are we going?
What are you doing here?
Nice to see you, nice to see you. Hey, I've just come to do a little bit of gate crashing and to just talk to you about the marketing awards, the YouTube marketing awards. So here we go. We've got Sarah Sandoval, General Manager of Consumer at New Zealand Post, and Karen Glusina, Managing Partner of TRA. God, such flash titles. And so good morning. So, what we want, so serious stuff. Okay, here we go. Sarah, you won New Zealand Marketer of the Year in 2022. And New Zealand Post won the Excellence in Brand Transformation Strategy in 2023. What were your secrets? Can you share any?
I don't know. When you know, you tell me, please.
Yeah.
It was our second go at winning the Brand Transformation Strategy Award, and to be honest with you, I think it was because we had 2 years of consistent effort and more time for results, and anything with brand takes time.
Yeah.
So really clear strategy, but I think what won it for us that year is being able to show the results that TRA tracks for us actually.
Okay. Well, yes, okay. And when you look at, say, the Marketer of the Year, when you entered that and you've got the brand transformation, did you take a different approach when you're entering those awards?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing to say with Marketer of the Year is I didn't enter. Someone enters on your behalf or nominates you.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of a nice surprise. Then you get announced you're a finalist. But then the actual, I guess, award entry is more like an interview in front of a panel. So it's a very, very different experience.
Yeah.
And you get asked questions and amongst your peers and so on. So very, very different experience. Whereas the brand strategy transformation was a written entry with evidence of the results and having a really clear story about what you did, what the strategy was and what the results were is absolutely critical.
Yeah, so really that whole thing again about the story backed up with metrics is the key to that, you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And so, you know, it's great to be nominated and to hopefully anyone watching this, get your mates to nominate you. For you personally, has it made a difference to you winning something like the Marketer of the Year?
Oh, would I say it's made a difference to me? I think it's been a really awesome experience from a couple of perspectives. One is that for the team internally, it feels really great, I think, to be part of a winning team. And so that feeling and that culture in the team of it is a response to that, and the celebration that comes with that, I think is a really shared experience. So for me, that was really important and special. And I guess the second thing is you don't take time to stop and reflect. And I think that whole process as part of the award entry and to celebrate the successes is just such a good thing to do. We often just keep running to the next thing, but actually stopping and going, oh, what worked, what didn't work, how did we navigate that, and then using that and reflecting on that for the future is really powerful.
And tell me, you had to do the interview process in front of the panel, and was that scary or just fun?
Scary. Just being really honest, you often have this perception from the outside of kind of senior marketers or bosses in marketing, if you like, that they've got it all together. Well, we have the same human emotions everyone else does, and it's scary when you have to, stand
being judged by your peers is really scary.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Karen, you've done a lot of judging over the years, and what, in your opinion, has made, if you think back of great awards entries, what's made a great awards entry from your point of view?
I think really real clarity on what they were trying to achieve and why it was so important to the business to achieve that. And direct line of sight for that through the metrics to actually what happened. And it's really easy to see when that's been fudged or sort of retroactively applied, as opposed to it was well thought out what was wanting to happen, how people made it happen, and then what happened.
Any suggestions for anti-fudging?
Well, you've got to have good metrics.
Yeah.
I would recommend TRA tracking, obviously, to get those metrics.
Yes.
But also your internal business metrics are incredibly important. You know, what was achieved? Was it profitable? You know,
Yeah.
how did it all work?
Yeah.
And why was it so important to the business? And then how did the business change, transform, or be able to do different things as a result of what happened?
And did those entries show a real clear ROI?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the business, side of it, not just what
Yeah. So you
happened,
can,
but what was important.
so you can have all the glitz and glamour, but unless you've got the ROI there, you're pretty stuffed, really, aren't you?
Absolutely.
In technical terms, of course, technical terms. Yeah. And like if you think about the when you're putting in the awards, so like the brand transformation, how many people go through and proofread it? Like are you working with the agency, or because from what I can gather, and I try and stay well out of it because people always come up to me afterwards, and how big a team effort is it?
Look, for the first thing I'd say is a good award entry takes time.
Yeah.
And I would say that you can often tell when an entry has been written that's from the agency versus from the marketing team. So
That's
my biggest piece of advice is write that initial first draft yourself. In marketing, because you understand the wider business context, and I think that really comes through in those entries. And then use the agency to craft or copyright or add. It would be my recommendation. I think that's the best approach. And often it goes through many hands. In our world, we would draft it first, we would get some agency support, and then we would have some proofreading back and forth. So I would say usually it's about 4 or 5 people involved.
I imagine, Karen, you've proofread the odd entry.
Quite a few, yes, indeed. And you can tell what's been written just to enter versus what's been written with a really, really compelling reason for entry.
Right, yeah. And so this year we've got a slight change in our with how we're doing the judging. Well, we started it last year, and we have marking rubrics. So when people put their entries in, they can see for each question what's an 8 to 10 answer, etc. Hopefully New Zealand Post are putting in a whole load of entries again this year on whatever, maybe video content, the new YouTube video content or digital content. Would you use them as a benchmark for submissions?
We'll always review kind of the guidance on the entry for sure in terms of what's expected, so that will be helpful. I haven't seen them, I haven't used them in the past.
You have to get to the website, they're all there.
There we go, so good advice. We're at step 1, which is what great work have we got reflecting on the last year that justifies an entry.
Yeah.
So we're at that point, and we're now whittling that down and deciding what will go.
Well, and we have the other brand new entry this year, which is brand of the year, which is being the final award is being judged by the indomitable Mr. Ritson. So that's going to be quite a biggie this year. So any last suggestions for the watchers? Any inspirational words around award entries?
I think if you can convince yourself and your peer group that it's an amazing entry and that your story is compelling and has some tension in it, has to have a degree of difficulty, then you're halfway there really. Because you're quite harsh judges of your own work anyway.
Yeah, just get started.
Just get started, just do it. Just do it. Hey, well, thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Karen, for taking the time. And if as always, just put your entry in and have a go. So, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks.